Very beginning of the trail, and it's up. Oh, I'm not ready for this. It's a little wet out here. Let's see. Yeah.
It's under a rock. Oh, nice. Stop. Back up. Back up.
Well, I am gonna die. Good morning. I am back on the trail after a couple of weeks, and I am getting back to my routine today. It feels really good. Yesterday we went on a hike, and it just, I don't know, it felt really, really good to be outside. It felt good to be active again, both because I was coming off of being sick and because I've been coming off of this funk. I've had about 3 days of medication so far, and that's not long enough to really say anything about it. So far, I am experiencing some drowsiness, so I switched to taking it at night. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to matter what time of day I take it. I'm also experiencing some insomnia, so I have not slept well for a few days now. But be it the medication or just sort of getting back into feeling like myself again, I am starting to have some desires to do stuff and to get stuff done. So that's good. I'm glad that that's coming back. It felt nice to know that I was getting back into doing things that need to get done and not just feeling like everything was overwhelming. Parker, you have a blackberry on your butt. They're sort of perfect weather. It's perfectly quiet and wonderful on the trail this morning. And I'm tempted to not even put in my headphones and just sort of enjoy the quiet walk through the woods this morning. I made my egg roll in a bowl for lunch today, and so I'm going to eat off of that for the week. I was planning to do that last week, but you know, stuff happens. So I have my lunches down for the week. I think I'll clean up a bit. It's gotten, you know, the way that it gets. Stuff that I've been putting off for a couple of weeks, it's about time to get done. I cleaned up the kitchen a bit and I got started on dinner tonight, which I've been putting off for a couple of nights because it's quite involved. My husband found a recipe for the chuck roast that we had in the freezer, and he meant well. It looked interesting and it would use up the roast that was in the freezer, but it's kind of a complicated recipe, including having me cook down 3 pounds of onions. That's okay. I was excited to try it. I love cooking. I wanted to give this recipe a shot and do something different. I just needed to be in the right mindset. And today I was in the right mindset. I'm at the point now in the recipe where things are cooked down quite a bit. This has been cooking for an hour already. And now I'm gonna let it continue to sit with the lid cracked a bit for another hour and a half. Trying to get the timing right so that we can have food about 6, but I'm probably about a half hour off, unfortunately. But we'll see how quickly this cooks. We just need to get the chuck roast to be tender. So maybe it'll cook a little bit faster. They're a little bit smaller pieces, I think, than the recipe called for. So we'll have to see. Last night's dinner was insane. I knew it was going to take me a while, but it took 3.5 hours from start to finish. A lot of that was cooking time. The roast has to cook low and slow, right, for a while. So I think there was at least a whole hour that I barely even touched it. There was another hour where I was occasionally poking at it and stirring it, breaking down 3 pounds of onions. I mean, it was crazy. But I will say it was a very good recipe. Very, very, very good. So, Was it worth it? Yeah, I think it was. It's one of those special, like every now and then recipes. I kind of wish that it was a special occasion. I will find something to be grateful for. But for that recipe, I had to cut the roast in half because it was basically twice as big as I needed. And so the other half of the roast I got into a crock pot this morning, and I'm making just a standard pot roast. It's one of those things I don't make very often, and I forget just how much I really love just a classic pot roast. That'll be really good, and those 2 meals is gonna make so much food. We're gonna be eating off of that for like a week, I swear. I am making some tea, and I feel really inspired this morning to write something. I have been wanting to write something, and in particular, start journaling again. I really have a hard time with journaling. I love journaling personally. I really, really love it. But I have an issue with handwriting the stuff. Like, I like having a handwritten journal. The first journal that I filled all the way up, I absolutely was so like proud, and I was grateful to have this like tangible thing that I had written in. But I struggle with the fact that my brain just kind of goes too fast for what I can write. And so I end up getting frustrated because I can't keep up with the thoughts that I want to put down. And I do much better when I'm typing something out, but then I don't have a tangible journal. I guess there could be something said about like forcing myself to slow down, but I am going to start trying to keep some sort of journal or do some sort of writing prompt or something on my computer right now, just to see if I can get myself in the habit of writing something down. If I can return to journaling of some sort, that would be great too. But I just want to get that moving forward again. And I think my best opportunity to do so would be to sit down at my computer and type something out. So I'm going to try that this morning while I have my tea. It smells so good in here. This roast smells so good. I finished some lunch and I redid my nails, and I am thinking about just going and maybe playing some games or doing something for the rest of the night. I do want to do some dishes and just clean up a little bit, but I gotta wait for these to kind of be all settled before I do that. And I know I've said this before. I feel like a broken record sometimes. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself. And I've said that before, and then I've gone kind of back into my default, and I am actually trying really hard to just relax and not put pressure on myself to do things. I still have kitchen projects to do. I still have my window jams that I would really like to get to, and my window sills, which have actually just been sitting there for like a week, over a week now. It's okay that I have those things to do, and I'm choosing not to do them. I'm going to be taking every day at a time right now, every step, every moment. But I think I'm going to slow roll into the other parts of this project. I don't think I've been doing myself any favors with trying to rush to get things done. I know I've explained it before, but I just want to kind of reiterate, every moment that I am not working on the kitchen feels like time I'm taking away from being able to work on my home bakery business. I told myself that until my kitchen is done, I'm not going to use it as a home bakery. One, because I want to make sure that I have the backsplash and all of the things in place. And two, because it's important to me to finish that project before I start something else that is going to take all of my time. I quit my job in part to follow this dream of doing the bakery. And I haven't been able to do pretty much anything for the bakery yet. And that's making me feel guilty. And that's something that I'm working through. But one of my big pushes to try to get things done on this project is for that reason. This project in realistic sense should have been done 8-9 months ago. I don't know if anyone can relate to the fact that like I look around and I'm just reminded about that. It's okay. It will take as long as it takes, but sometimes I really have to stop and remind myself of that. And given the circumstance, given the fact that I am getting used to this medication, given the fact that I need to not put too much pressure on myself, and I need to just live my life right now. That's what I'm going to plan on doing. I am feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit butterfly in my stomach right now. Not entirely sure why. I do know one of the side effects for the sertraline is that you could have some increased anxiety before it decreases. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. But I feel like right now I should just make a glass of tea and go do something relaxing for a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. My husband had a great idea for some leftover cabbage that we had, and was saying that we should do it with the pot roast. And the more I was thinking about it, the more I really liked the idea. So I sacrificed opening the lid. I really didn't want to do that for the last 30 minutes or so of cook time to put in. I could only fit half the cabbage. It's a lot, but I did want to give that a shot. It's kind of like corned beef and cabbage, but not corned beef, just regular beef. I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping that 30 minutes is enough to cook. I know that for a lot of recipes for like corned beef and cabbage in the slow cooker and things like that, you really only need to put it in for the last 30 or 40 minutes. So we'll find out, I guess. I also don't know what just came over me, but I literally just threw the dishwasher together. Ran it. I have a video game on pause in the other room. I've also been tabbing out to write stuff in a Google Doc periodically. I am feeling like really productive in a different way. I don't know, I'm just feeling pretty good. Also, I'm on season 2 of This Is Us, and I just watched the episode, and I didn't like burst out crying. I had like a healthy level of sad reaction, my normal reaction to watching a sad TV show or sad episode of something. Whereas previously I've been watching this show, I've been just sort of periodically putting on an episode or so and rewatching the series. And it's been making me really sad. Like a reaction to it that I haven't had before, for not only this show, but like any sad episodes of anything. So I also am considering that a pretty good sign. Change of plans. As good as this smells, the cabbage still isn't quite done, and we're gonna let this cook a little bit longer and just have the pasta for leftovers. This will sit and be really good tomorrow. All that work, it's okay. It means I've got dinner all handled. This is my morning every morning. I've got both animals vying for my attention. And it's very cute. But it's a lot. She's just sitting here, purring really hard. Well, good morning. This insomnia that I'm experiencing is crazy. I thought I was sleeping poorly before. It's a really weird mix of being drowsy, but also not being able to sleep. I think last night may have been a little bit easier. I think I laid there a little bit less time than before, but I definitely am not falling asleep easily, much more noticeable than before. And then I'm waking up periodically throughout the night, and I was wide awake at 5:30 this morning. But I am working really hard on my bedtime routine as well, and trying to make sure that I am keeping one because I don't have a very good bedtime routine. I've got a pretty good morning routine, but not a good bedtime routine. So right now, I start feeling pretty drowsy at about 8 o'clock. I'm taking my pill at 6, and I start to really feel it about 8. And so it's been a good time for me to get back to trying to wind down for bed. So by 8:30, what I am trying to do is make a glass of chamomile tea. I have a chamomile lavender tea that I really like at night, and trying to read a little bit and just sort of calm down for an hour or so, and then be in bed by the cat is rubbing all over my phone. Sweetie. And then try to be in bed by 9:30. Obviously, the issue there is that if I'm taking a few hours to fall asleep, I'm just laying there for hours. Rumor has it that that is short-lived while I get used to the medication, so hopefully that insomnia is not something that stays. I do meet with my doctor in 4 weeks, I guess 3 weeks. And if I'm still having issues, then I will talk to him and see if there's something that I can take. I've also considered, I think maybe it's insanity, to try melatonin again. I keep trying melatonin, hoping something is going to be better, and it's not. It's never better. But there's this part of me that was like, I don't know, maybe melatonin and this pill will be fine. Maybe I'll find that melatonin doesn't make me sleep weird because I'm already sleeping weird. I mean, honestly, at this point, there's not much to lose. So I might take melatonin tonight just to see what happens. But anyway, on to a weigh-in update. So I weighed this morning and I was down 0.4 pounds. And honestly, I'm really, really happy with that. I know it doesn't seem like much. This whole past week, I have not been tracking. I have not been eating poorly. I've been working really hard to continue to eat healthy and be mindful, but I have not been weighing and tracking my food. I had the whole week where I was mentally and physically sick, and so I lost 3 pounds by not really eating, and I wanted to take it easy on myself and not worry about counting my calories while also trying to make sure that I'm not, throwing caution to the wind and, okay, well, we're going to eat anything and everything. And that makes me feel like I am learning something, right? I am learning about how much I need to eat without necessarily needing to track those calories, although I will continue to do that. I do just find it easier to keep an eye on things. This approach that I've had, as opposed to other years with tracking my food, has been a lot more calm. I have not been so strict on myself. I have learned from past mistakes of getting over involved with weighing and tracking and just being like way too anxious about it. And so I'm really happy to see that that is working for me and that I am able to take a break, so to speak, without sacrificing, necessarily a week of weight loss. I'm just plugging forward and trying to be the healthiest version of me that I can be. And I had talked about when I first quit my job and was starting this new adventure that what was really important to me was working on my mental and physical health. And what's become really apparent to me is that my mental health needs a lot more assistance and a lot more care, TLC, than I had expected. And that's taking a lot of my energy right now, but I do not want to focus so much on that I put aside the fact that I do want to continue improving my physical health. Going on walks every morning has really helped me, both in the physical and mental realm. Having a good daytime routine, and also making sure that I am consistently planning and cooking healthy meals. That has made me feel really good. It has clearly been paying off. It's a win-win for me. In case anyone was wondering or questioning, I have made some significant changes in my life that have really helped me make improvements in my life. But like anything, this is a slow process, and there's ups and downs, and there will be times that I make mistakes, or there will be times that I slip. And the only thing that we can do is continue to keep trying to make those positive changes and keep trying to be introspective and doing what I can to be the best version of myself. And that is not going to be perfection. I should not and cannot expect myself to be perfect at that, and neither should you. It is about that time for me to get going on our walk, and the dog's ears perked up a little bit. I'm really feeling kind of inspired to write something again. I have been wanting to write down my feelings for 5 years now on the experience of my father's death, which was a really big catalyst in my life. It was one of the things that led me down the path of surgery. It was honestly quite traumatic, working through that with my therapist. He had really kind of confirmed with me that it was quite a traumatic experience for the family. And I've written things in my journal here and there, but I've held on to so much stuff in my mind that I've wanted to just write down, mostly for the catharsis of getting something out. And I've always had it in the back of my mind that I want to do that. And for whatever reason, I have been feeling in the past couple of days really, really motivated to at least get some words on paper. And it felt really, really good to write some stuff down yesterday. And I think that although I would love to go to Home Depot and I'd love to get a couple of other things done, this is something that has literally been in the back of my mind for 5 years, that I'm suddenly finding the, not just the motivation, but this like strong desire to do. And I think that that has a lot to do with working through and coming to terms with my anxiety. I have been sort of, I think, avoiding the fact that I have like anxiety for a long time. I've really chalked this up to, just my personality, the way that I am. I've dismissed for many, many years that I have, any sort of like legitimate form of anxiety. And I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that that's just not the case. And in addition to starting the medication, I am just trying to work through some things, and it's feeling really cathartic to me to write some stuff down. And so I think after my walk this morning, I'm going to make a glass of tea, and I'm going to sit down at my computer and see where that takes me again. Hey, let's go to a baseball game. You want to go to a baseball game? Let's just go. You get Dippin' Dots. Yeah. Okay, off to do a couple of errands today. I am feeling really good, really positive. It's like 85 degrees again today. We've got another heat advisory. This is something I'm just going to have to get used to every single summer, apparently. But what that does mean is I get to wear outfits that make me feel cool, like literally and figuratively. So fit check. I love this outfit for some reason. I don't know. This is the first time I've worn it with jeans. Usually I'm wearing this with a pair of linen pants that I got that I love, but I haven't gotten the ice cream stains out of it from when we went to the Highland Games. I really need to work on that. Every 6 months, I have to go get my engagement ring looked at. They have to inspect it and clean it to keep any warranty up on it. And that requires us to go to another city because there are no Zales where I live. So I'm going to pick up my husband early from work and we're going to head out of town and we're going to go find a Zales at the nearest outlet mall. I'm going to try to resist going into the Disney store because it is right next door. We have another errand to do in that city. And then I'm going to try my hardest to not stop at the Korean chicken place on the way home to pick up food for tonight because that sounds really good. But we have food at home. So let's see how good my willpower is today. Been so bad at recording things this week. So we did go to the outlet. It was not exciting. I'm not a big shopper, so I didn't end up getting anything. We wandered through a couple of stores, but there was nothing to really do yesterday. So we got our errands done and came home and just hung out for the rest of the night. But today is our finale for our Trek for Treasure that we've been doing. The boxes that we have been finding on our hikes all summer long are ending, and we get a clue at 9 a.m. Every team that's in the finale gets a clue at the same time, and then we have to go figure out where the final hike is and complete it. Hopefully first, but we're not usually anywhere near first. But it is 8:55 right now, so we are preparing to get our clue and get out and find it. Okay, so we got our clue, and we took a stab at where we thought it was leading us. And when we started, there were people who told us that we were going the correct direction and that when we're all done, we can come back for some snacks and drinks. So that made us feel really good. And now we are speed walking through the woods, trying to see if we can place. My goal is sub 50. One year we finished like 50th or 51st. And if we can get sub 50, I'll feel really good. But this is gonna get my heart rate up today, that's for sure. Here, Parker! It's the treasure box! Sub 10. 7's a great number. Yay! We are on our way out the door. We heard on the radio yesterday, which in itself is already weird because I don't listen to the radio very often, but they are having a Dog Days of Summer event for a local humane society, and obviously it's a doggy themed day. So we're gonna head over to that. We're like, you know what, we could do that. That sounds fun. And the dog loves events like that. Not only does he love meeting other dogs, but he loves going to street fairs and stuff because he loves people. So we're gonna take Parker for a little adventure today, and go check out and see what they have. He's ready. Well, that was a cute little event. It was unfortunately very, very hot, and we were there for a lot longer than we were expecting because we got into the caricature line and decided that we wanted to get a caricature of Parker, obviously, but it took almost 2 hours. We were just kind of standing in line in the sun. But there were lots of dogs around, lots of people to talk to, and they had kiddie pools with doggy cooling stations everywhere, so it wasn't quite so bad. You know, a lot of
booths and local businesses showed up, and it was just a cute little event. We had a sandwich. It was a vegan sandwich that was like a vegan, like cheesesteak kind of thing with seitan, and that was really good, really interesting and different. We just sort of wandered around for a few minutes and decided that since it was about 1:30 and getting pretty hot outside and my sunscreen was only gonna last so long, we went ahead and called it and came home. But we have a really cute caricature as a reward for that, and it was fun to do sort of spontaneously. But that is going to be a wrap on our weekend. We have just been sort of taking it easy for the rest of the day and getting ready for the week to start. I have some good plans, I think, this week. I'm feeling really good about this upcoming week. So that's going to do it for me. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're looking at the big picture, make good choices, and I will see you in the next one.